With Thanksgiving tomorrow and the family coming over, today I decided to talk about a topic on which there are differing opinions within my family, a topic which you probably figured out from the title of the video, tattoos. As seen in the beginning of my second Life Scouts video, I have a tattoo, and this is a better view of it. It's Yggdrasil, the tree of life in Norse mythology that, in that mythology, holds the universe together. I chose it both for the tree part, as I'm an outdoors and nature person, as well as the mythology part, because Norse mythology is my favorite mythology, and I'm part Swedish. My mom was definitely the most vociferous opponent to me getting a tattoo, and we eventually, after much convincing, came to an agreement where I would wait until after I graduated from college before I got the tattoo. For all of this time, I had the same design, so I knew it was something that I really wanted, and in July of 2012, I got it. I went to the same artist that my friend Matt went to for a lot of his tattoos, and because Matt is such a great customer, I actually got a pretty good deal on it. It took about 2 hours to finish, and that's including all the breaks that the artist had to take because he had just torn his MCL recently and couldn't sit down that low without it hurting. And during that time, I basically just read a book, and it's Another Turn of the Crank, a collection of essays by Wendell Berry, one of my favorite philosophers. I'm sure I'll talk about him in the future sometime. Of course, it was painful to get, but the location of the tattoo meant that it really wasn't that painful, and I would liken the worst pain that I felt to scratching a sunburn. When I was younger, I was pretty sure that I would never get a tattoo, and not that I didn't like needles, but I just couldn't imagine someone getting stabbed thousands of times for a piece of art on their skin. If you talk to my friends from high school, they would probably say that I was one of the least likely people to get a tattoo that they knew. Because of my experience with my changing attitudes toward tattoos and how much I wouldn't have predicted myself to get a tattoo, I have a really hard time at predicting if somebody else is going to get a tattoo or if they'd be the type of person to have a tattoo. Even though I only have one right now, I do have more planned, to the chagrin of my mom. With my chosen career path, there are some obvious places where I'm not going to get a tattoo. I have to be able to wear scrubs and you basically not see the tattoo at all. So for obvious reasons, no neck or face tattoos and pretty much nothing below a short sleeve. Attitudes towards tattoos have come a long way in recent years, and there's actually a lot of nurses that you'll see do have visible tattoos, whether it's behind the ear or on the arm. But for physicians, it's really still not that accepted, and even having your ears pierced as a male doctor is not really a good idea. Tattoos and piercings on teachers have become more and more accepted over the years, but I still feel like in some of the professional fields like lawyers and doctors, that stigma is still going to hang around for a little bit longer. While I'm not really interested in getting any kind of color tattoos on my body, I think tattoos can be absolutely gorgeous, and they really are works of art. One of my friends works at a daycare center, and he actually has this really cool, like, full sleeve underwater scene tattoo, and he was worried about having to cover it up while working around the little kids. But there were a fair number of parents who actually asked him not to cover up his tattoos because they had tattoos as well, and what would that mean if they were asking him to cover up around their kids when they had them at home as well? I think a lot of the tattoo stigma is a generational thing, and it will slowly get weaned out, and it already is getting weaned out as more and more people have them. For the tattoos I plan on getting in the future, a lot of them I've had the designs for years already, so I know that I pretty much like the design. It's just a matter of saving the money and getting the time to do it. Well, I definitely think there's a lot of interesting tattoo choices that people have made. I hope that any tattoo that somebody gets means something specifically to them. So my question for you is, do you have any tattoos? And if you've considered getting a tattoo but haven't, what's holding you back? I know for me, besides the familial objections to me getting a tattoo, for a while it was money, and I didn't want to spend that much time not being able to go in the water. And that's still a consideration I'm dealing with now as I'm swimming more and trying to schedule triathlons and a swiftwater rescue training and all this kind of other stuff that I'm trying to fit it around. Next time I get one though, you're definitely coming with me. I'll see you tomorrow.